So for my camping trip, what's in my Gold Eagle aged in oak or aged in ore set that I'm taking along for me and my buddy. I have a plethora of options that span all types of whiskeys. So we have Glen Ross 18. We have Bachton 1981.
Nice.
Since we're going to be in a national park, I took out the Wyoming Whiskey National Park #5, and then the barrel pick that I did at Whiskey Acres.
Nice.
So that'll be a nice little well-rounded tasting of a bunch of different styles of whiskey for the weekend.
Yeah, the 1985 is so good. It's been a while since I tried that. All right, ready?
Yep.
Podcast about bourbon and the ones who drink it. This is Bourbon Matters. Welcome to Bourbon Matters. I'm Jake.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Gold Eagle Jake.
And we're going to jump around again tonight. It's a little bit of a slow news month, I guess.
I mean, summer in whiskey always slows down, though. It's like you have your massive releases in the late fall.
Yeah.
You have some of your spring stuff once to try and get some sales after the holiday rush. And then summer is just kind of like, it's too hot.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, we did get some news that there's some super aged kind of releases coming out from Heaven Hill and Four Roses. I'm sure we'll start to see others as well. I'm going to touch on some of the upcoming master classes as well that we're excited about.
Do we want to start with some of the age stuff that's been released? Which I think we're seeing this just knowing that stocks are going to be lasting longer. So I think we're already starting to see the front edge of some of the super aged.
Yeah.
I sent you guys the article early this week of Four Roses releasing the first chapter of their anthology collection. Which is going to be a 21-year-old Four Roses, a 21-year-old Four Roses, 124.9 proof that they're releasing. It looks like they have 10 chapters slated between now and 2035, a release coming every year. So it is a 21-year-old, comes in a very nice-looking box. I can't tell if it's cardboard or not, so we'll be able to either yell at Four Roses like Angel Envy or praise them for not going super cheap. There's something that's wood in the box, but it looks like a piece of the stave.
For $500, it better be a wood box.
It's $500. That's the kicker. It's a 21-year-old for $500.
How do you feel about that, Dan?
I think you guys know how I feel about that. I think it's a smidge on the high side.
So I will applaud them for keeping it high proof.
Yes.
I think that's a good decision. I don't know if it's worth $500. I can see like $300 or $350 maybe would be
they're
reasonable. I mean, I guess like I don't know. I know that it's super expensive to keep a bottle or a barrel for 21 years. So they got to get their money back somehow. But I feel like they're squeezing that one just a little too much.
So I'm going to play both sides. I think there's a side of it that the consumer doesn't think about. And it's that you are paying taxes on that barrel every single year, and then
and you lose 5% of that barrel every year.
You're losing all of that, and then when it gets to that 21-year mark, like they probably found some barrels that were totally empty.
Mm-hmm.
So you still have to pay taxes on those barrels, and there's probably barrels that are just literally a couple gallons left in the barrel, and you're paying the full amount of taxes that barrel was aging. And I do think that has a major impact on why we see these ultra premium age statements just shoot way up in price, disproportionate to like a 10-year from them, which is $100, and then you double it and you think the 21-year would be $200. But that's just not the case with whiskey and the angel share and having to pay taxes on these barrels every year.
I mean, Scotch goes through the same type of pricing scale too, where it's like it's non-linear, it's exponential as the age goes up.
Right.
Yeah. I also think it's nuts that they charge that much for their 10-year when you can buy other 10 years for 40, 50, $60, but that's neither here nor there.
What? Who are you talking about?
Some other distilleries you can find.
He's talking about your
Eagle
boy.
Rare, for Eagle Rare.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to cheap.
90 proof, though.
Yeah, but still half the price. There's not that much water to cut it from 125 down to 90, and we don't know what they put it in the barrel at. So, yeah, no, I completely understand. I mean, we called those barrels nut kickers at Whiskey Acres when you open a barrel and you're like, this one rolled too easy. And then you pull the bung out and you're like, that's why. Because you're just losing money on that barrel at a certain point. I still think it's a lot. I mean, I think it's cool that they're putting it in a fancy box. It's the oldest whiskey in the distillery's history that they're releasing. The bigger thing, the volume is 1,300 bottles total for the U.S. or for everybody.
Oh, wow.
So I know it's been years since we've talked about scarcity and just Buffalo Trace manufacturer scarcity to keep people clamoring for their stuff, things like that. You can always go back and listen to that episode. I would think with as old as Four Roses are, they probably had enough barrels that they could have done more than 1,300, but I think that's also part of the justification that they want it to be super elite. Probably going to be a distillery release only as well, as it doesn't say anything with distribution on it. So,
and I think they might have announced the date.
July 11th.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
there's people already in tents outside the distillery.
Yeah, there's a line started already for absolutely.
Yeah, get out there, Kyle.
He's not anywhere close to that.
Yeah, but he keeps telling us he's like showing up in Kentucky randomly.
Well, it's because he travels for work.
You know, so schedule a business trip, Kyle, and
yeah, it's 21-year-old. It's what the OS or OBSF recipe.
It's not even the good one.
It's the good. You don't even know what the good one is. We haven't done our drunken Four Roses taster yet, which we need to do sometime. We need to just have a Saturday where we record like a 2-part podcast on a Saturday, and just first part we're like trying to talk like real, and then second part we're just fucking hammered. So, but yeah. So I mean, I do like. I mean, again, marketing side of it. It's just their normal single barrel bottle. It doesn't have the label on it. It's fancied up a little bit, but they don't have it in like any super crazy, special, fancy looking bottle. So,
well, I think this was, for me, I think it was a great move by them. Everyone's talking about pausing distillation. There's a surplus of whiskey. You got to get the consumer excited again. And I think this was a great way to do that and do something that I don't think anybody saw coming, because they don't have, they've never done like a 12-year age statement, a 15-year, 18-year. They just went straight for the 21. They don't. I mean, the single barrels, the barrel proof single barrels say the age on the side, but they're almost always, 8, 9, 10. You get the occasional like 15-year when it's a special release at the distillery. But they don't have like a set age statement product. Even their LE, which comes out once a year and is extremely limited, they tell you what age the whiskey is that's in the blend, but they still don't age state it. So I think this was a big move for them to put an age statement on the bottle, come out swinging with the 21 year, and see how the people react, which we all know it's going to sell out the same day at the distillery.
Yeah, I think their brand really isn't about it's more about the recipes than anything else. So yeah, this is an interesting move for them to make, especially like you said, jumping to the far extreme end of bourbon age statements. So yeah, we'll see. I do think I agree with you, Jake, that I think it is a good move. And I think a lot more distilleries are going to start doing this.
Well, I think they're going to have to.
Old stock that they're like, we don't need to keep, a 15-year or 18-year or 20 or 21-year barrel around for blending anymore. So let's just release them for $500 and make our money back.
Yeah. The other one that will be coming out is another 21-year-old coming out of Elijah Craig. This will be a single barrel at 94 proof.
Ooh.
It's they haven't had a 21-year-old for over a decade. It is where was I reading? It's still going to be very limited. I think I read 1,800, just shy of 1,800 bottles are coming out. When it came out last time, over a decade ago, it was only at 90 proof. So they did give them credit, stepped up their game to 94 proof.
They did that on the Elijah 15 too.
Yeah, but the Elijah 15, I was going to say, was 108. It was 107 or 108. Yeah. So it was a bit higher, and it makes you wonder why they chose to go back down in proof on the 21 year, because it probably wasn't good at that higher proof point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, isn't that what people say about the 20 plus Pappies?
The 23 year Pappies.
That they're just not.
Yeah, I've tried
that great.
Pappy 23, and I knew I was going to be disappointed, but I was severely disappointed.
Yeah.
When I tried it 2 years ago, or I think it was last summer for the first time.
I mean, that's we've talked about Elijah 18 and why they proof it so low. It's probably because the oak content is just way too overpowering. I mean, the regular Elijah Craig barrel proofs that come out are regularly around 10 or 11 years, and they're all super oaky. So if you got 15 plus year Elijah Craig at barrel proof, it's probably just absolute oak bomb, blows everything out.
Yeah, the 15-year-old single barrels were bottled at 108 proof. The 18-year-old is a 90 proof. This will be 94 proof for the 21 year. It was just shy of 1,800 barrels. This is the first time I've seen someone, I don't know if this is true or not, listing the MSRP at $299.99. 1,789 bottles distributed to select retailers ahead of 2026 holiday season.
That's a decent price point.
Yeah. So we had this conversation 2 nights ago this was last night at the Old Louisville Masterclass. We've had Amin on the podcast before. I would highly recommend going back to listening to that episode. The dude is extremely smart with a lot of things whiskey, but his specialty is the maturation of the whiskey. And this is one of the things I like about him, and what Old Louisville does is they are strictly focused on the maturation. They're not trying to distill and do something that they aren't. They're not trying to do all these crazy, wicked finishes. They're not trying to source from all these crazy different parts of the world and different distilleries. They know what they want, and it is 8 to 15 year bourbon, nothing less, nothing more. And his reasoning behind that is when you char, which most people do, char 3 and 4, you're penetrating the wood X amount of millimeters. And then once you get past that 15-year mark, the whiskey is penetrating past that char into the staves. And that's when you start picking up all these nasty tannins from oak that hasn't been toasted or charred. So I think it is definitely true. People, when they talk about like the Pappies, is an easy example that the 20 and 23 year over oaked and the 15-year is the sweet spot. And I think, the reason, again, Elijah Craig is going back down to 94 proof at 21 years is it probably didn't taste that great at the higher proof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't had an old Louisville I haven't thoroughly enjoyed yet either. So
I mean, he's just putting out good stuff after good stuff, and mostly because they have 3 employees. So like they're doing very small batches. They are tasting everything before it goes into a bottle, and they're not about quantity. They're truly about quality.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We're not going to see this for a while, but if it'll be interesting to see when we start seeing lots and lots of older age stated stuff start hitting the market, to see if it's just people like it and want to buy it because it's rare and it's old, or when it starts to become more available, will they not want it as much because they realize that it's not in their flavor profile that they were hoping it would be.
Yeah, I mean, just look at, I know someone's gonna like talk shit about this, but Scotch is already at that point where there's 20 plus year bottles that just sit on shelves at every store because they're like $2,000. And I know there's bourbon and Scotch are a different market in the United States, but right now Superaged bourbon is like this novelty and people are like jumping on it. I don't think that's gonna last forever.
I mean, it's kind of like rewind 8 years ago. Like nobody had a 10-year bourbon on the shelf that you could buy.
Yeah.
And anytime a 10-year bourbon came out, people snatched it up. So, I wonder where we're going to be in 8 years from now when there's 20-year bourbon on the shelf. Are people are the distilleries going to oversaturate it to the point where people choose not to buy it because it's over oaked and people start realizing that it is over oaked? Or will they continue to play it smart, doing these limited releases with the older age? And I don't even know if it's smart. It could be that's all they have right now. But with the surplus that everybody's talking about that's aging right now, they might not have any choice but to, release more quantities of some older age statements.
Yeah. I think they're probably looking at we've got all these really old barrels. We can either blend them or we can try and sell them for a super premium price. So they're going to opt to do that, I think.
And we're still really early in this. I mean, a big chunk of distilleries opened in the late 2000s, early 2010s. I mean, we're just starting to see some of the ones that started as small craft distilleries that I have gotten bigger and have pretty good national distribution. Frey Ranch just announced their first 10 years coming out. What is it? That was this February. The first barrel of Whiskey Acres turned 10 years old. So there's going to be a lot of distilleries that barely have tenure yet, and we're not going to see the market possibly saturated for a while. The big boys will be able to do it. The big old guys will have plenty to do, but we will see. So.
I mean, if you look at the pattern, anything they can oversaturate, they do.
Yeah.
Until it collapses. So I think everybody's going to come out with a 20-something year. I mean, Knob Creek has an 18-year. It's only a matter of time before they start putting out a 20, 21 or whatever. So Yeah.
Well, they did
see it.
Yeah, I was just saying
Now,
they did have
now
a 20.
Creek
you're
came
right.
out
Yeah,
with
they
the 21 year last year, which I'm glad you brought up because I actually thought the 18 year was like batch 1 was totally over oaked, did not care for it. Batch 2 was better. And when they announced they were coming out with the 21 year, I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, there's no way this can taste good. And it actually tasted pretty good. I don't know. And theirs was 260 MSRP. So and it was 100 proof, so it was proof down a little bit, but half the price of Four Roses and a little bit lower than the Elijah Craig, but also higher proof than the Elijah Craig. But I thought the Knob Creek 21 was good. It didn't have, it didn't taste over oaked, but definitely not an everyday bottle at $260.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm not rushing out to buy all this stuff. Like at this point, if I'm going to spend over $200 on a bottle of whiskey, I better know that it's good before I have it.
Oh, there's one more.
I know that has a similar palate or have tried it.
Yeah,
there's one
that lesson.
Yeah, there's one more we got to mention too from my favorite.
I thought Knob Creek was your favorite.
I mean, that's my easy answer when somebody is like, "What's your favorite bourbon?" That's an easy go-to answer. I always say I can't answer that, but if I had to pick, I would probably just say Knob Creek. But really, I can't answer that question. Depends on a lot of different factors. But I mean, Bacta, the place I got married, would have to be my favorite. But they're coming out with a 1868 Bacta 1868, which is kind of like the bourbon version of 1928. And we're supposed to be getting it very soon. Like it's a summer release for America's 250th. There's different single barrels named after different presidents, and they're blending 21-year bourbon with some 2014 bourbon, so about some 11-year and 21-year bourbon, but then with old Armagnac. So like the Jefferson's barrel, for example, has 1981 Armagnac, 1973 Armagnac, 1962 Armagnac, and 1868 Armagnac, which is the oldest that they have. So that is kind of like the souped up bourbon version of the 1928, which, if you had the 1928, you can say you've had spirit 100 years old. Now, obviously, there's probably not a lot of that 1868 in the bottle. It's got a retail price of $250 a bottle. But I did try 2 of the barrels. They are very good, super unique. And knowing Bacta, they probably put more than they had to of those older vintages. So if you're someone who likes Armagnac and likes just unique, different spirits, definitely be on the lookout for those. You won't have to wait in line. At the bar? We will probably open one. Yeah. I mean, I haven't gotten them in yet, but you won't have to wait in line. We'll be getting some. It's not a distillery only release.
Here's the question. When do you think we'll see over 20 years from Jack Daniels? Do you think they'll continue to do their 2-year increments for a while, or do you think in a couple of years they'll just drop a 20-year?
I think they could do it today if they wanted to.
I mean, I know they could, but when will they? Because the last couple of years we've had a 10-year, a 12-year, and a 14-year. Do you think it'll be every year they're going to up it by 2 years, or do you think they'll just break ranks and drop a 20-year? Because they seem to be going with even years.
Well, if they stay on pattern, it'll be like 50 years from now that they'll do another.
No, if they stay on pattern, it would be 16 year.
Yeah, they've been adding
18 year, 2 years every year. They've been adding.
Yeah, they've been adding.
I'm throwing shade at them for not doing anything innovative and like.
See, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't know if they could drop a 20-year today. I think they've always been so focused on just the number 7 label, which is their bread and butter. It's 99% of their revenue, that they just haven't had a reason, except for maybe a few experimental things here or there, to age stuff past 10 years until
That's fair.
they were like, oh, we got some good 10-year stuff now. Maybe we should come out with some older age statements. So again, I could be wrong, but I don't think they've had a reason to do it. And I think now, obviously, they're letting some stuff go and age longer. And I kind of like the slow play. And, last year, 2 years ago, when the 12 came out, people were freaking out over that. And then the 14, people haven't stopped freaking out over that. And now when they do the 16, nobody's going to care about the 12 or the 10 anymore. And they're just going to want the 14 or 16.
And it is kind of nice because that they're also increasing productions on the 10-year, the 12-year when they go to the next batch. So it's the next time it comes out, more people can get it. People that bought it the last time, they do want the newer one. So now more people are getting some of the older stuff. So I do like their approach. I mean, it's not, business sense wise, it's probably not the greatest move.
Why?
Well, I think it also builds
a
expense
ton of stuff and make a ton of money.
And keeps people engaged.
Yeah.
I mean, they could make the 10-year an everyday SKU in the next few years, I would think.
But then people aren't going to want it anymore. Just like that Heritage toasted finish Jack Daniels they came out with.
Yeah, but that's because they, I don't know. I think that's one of those things where they...
Yeah, but any of those Heritage releases, anytime any store got some, they sold out immediately. And then they go ahead and announce oh, this is going to be a permanent SKU. And then people stop buying it.
Well, yeah. But...
They could have kept doing periodic drops. And they did the same thing with the bonded and the triple mash and the bonded rye. They came out out the gate and said, hey, these are going to be permanent SKUs. There's no reason to, hunt and
rush out and get one. You know who rushed out and got one?
Who are you pointing at?
You're down to me.
Oh, yeah, you're down to me too.
Yeah, because they're the fucking best.
They're great.
I will die on the hill that the Jack Bonded and the Jack Bonded Rye are two of the most versatile bottles you could possibly own.
They're great, but we know when Jack says, hey, these are going to be an everyday SKU, or we at least know that Jack will announce that things are going to be an everyday SKU, and they're not lying. They will. Buffalo Trace, on the other hand, announces, oh yeah, this Eagle Rare 12 is going to be an everyday SKU.
Hey, you know what? To be fair, they didn't say by when.
No, they didn't. But
well, they consider E.H. Taylor an everyday SKU and Blanton's an everyday SKU, right?
Well, Jake, you're getting pretty close to everyday SKU with Taylor.
We're getting close for Taylor. It's not gone within the minutes now. It's gone within
has a bottle days. Made it a week yet or not?
Not a week, but we've had. When we got 10 cases in at one time, it was on the shelf for probably 4 or 5 days.
So probably by this winter, if you keep getting shipments like that, it might be a week.
Hopefully,
that'd be perfect if you could sell through a shelf or sell through an allotment in a week for shelf space. That'd be actually pretty.
I always think
once the people with 150 bottles of Taylor in their closet finally realize that that's all worthless, it'll drop off real quick.
It's not worthless; it has value.
Well, not the value that they think it has.
Yeah. Are you just jealous other people have closets full of whiskey and it's not just you?
Yeah.
Figured.
I diversify though. My portfolio is thoroughly diversified on the whiskey front.
Smart man.
Having a diversified, slowly depreciating asset. Gotta love it. Other news this week. I don't know if people heard about this. We haven't had a good heist story in a while. If you're a gentleman and watching and or listening, and you have a wife that likes to listen to true crime podcasts, this one might be coming down the road that you could listen to. There was a $500,000 whiskey heist that happened within the last week in Philadelphia. Over, what was it, 1,800 cases of Noble Oak got stolen.
I thought it was 11,000 bottles.
Yeah, it was over 1,800 cases, and 12 per case. So for a 9-liter case. About $500,000 of Noble Oak, which I've had a bottle of Noble Oak. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time for me too. I don't remember.
So it's a really solid starter bourbon
for $30-$40, right? It's on the lower end, and they got like a fairly decent price double oak as well too to rival.
Yeah, like
Woodford's.
It's totally not bad, and it's on the sweeter side a little bit. You get a good amount of oak. So if you're someone who's like, getting into bourbon, it's a really good bottle to seek out.
It's a pretty bottle too. The label's
it's got good complexity too for its proof point and price point.
I am talking way too much about packaging anymore. I need to stop. I'm getting way too old. But basically what happened is, so I was trying to figure out, it wasn't at a distributor and it wasn't at Noble Oak's facility. It was at a bonded storage warehouse that is anybody that wants to store, it's bonded. So if you want to store liquor there, you can. It's kind of like a big holding area. And they were supposed to be moving these 1,800 cases from, I believe it was called American Supply or American something was the name of the warehouse. They're going to be moving it from that warehouse in Philly to a sister warehouse in New Jersey. Apparently some guys came in a truck, said they were there to pick up the order, and left. And they were not the ones that were supposed to be there to pick up the order.
Now, to add on to that, I heard they actually had the PO number in a fake passport.
I didn't see that. They said that they skirted some of the security details, or the security didn't quite follow some of the details. And
protocol was not followed. Yeah.
The biggest thing was they checked for the driver's ID, and they checked the driver's ID, and it was the right ID, but it didn't look like the person that came to pick it up.
Yeah, so I heard like they were sketched out, but then they had the correct identification, and it was a fake passport, and they had the correct PO number.
They did.
It sounded like they knew a lot of the details required to convince them that this was the correct truck.
Yeah.
Like the paperwork checked out and stuff like that.
But they might have kidnapped the original driver, and this might be some
allegedly.
serious crime.
First of all, let's say allegedly. Just so we don't get ourselves in trouble. Allegedly.
I don't even.
But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if there was some kind of inside job.
That maybe because
totally
of my
could also be
because Noble Oak was purchased not too long ago, and now there's a company called A21.
Oh, okay.
Purchased them. So now there's $500,000 in inventory that's gone missing and will obviously be an insurance claim.
Right off.
So it could just be what it is. There could be some shady backroom things. It wouldn't be the first time something like that has ever happened in any type of industry. I will say, like, the one nice part about the story is the CEO of A21 came out. So Noble Oak has a mission that for every bottle sold, they plant an oak tree. They did say they'd plant the 18,000 oak trees.
Nice.
Even though they didn't technically sell the bottles. I mean, they're getting comped for it, but we haven't really had a bourbon heist since the Pappy heist, probably about 7-8 years ago. If you guys remember watching the documentary on that, but it
which
seems
is
more
kind
or less
of
like
surprising.
it more or
With
less
the value of whiskey, yeah, I'm surprised.
And just how many more distilleries and moving parts there have been in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there
was a attempted robbery of the CDW warehouse, like right down the road from us, like a few months ago.
I mean, the only other one I can think of right off the top of my head was like 3 years ago when oh Jesus Christ, the Galena distillery,
Blom.
Blom. They were moving barrels from the distillery to one of their storage warehouses, and a couple barrels fell off the truck. And by the time they got back there to get the barrels, they were gone. Which
That sounds like some mafia stuff.
I mean, I don't know if anyone's tried to pick up a full barrel of whiskey, but it's over 500 pounds.
You need like a forklift.
You need a couple people that are really strong that were waiting there because apparently they were only not there for half an hour. Someone didn't just be like drive down and be like, "Oh, look, a full barrel of whiskey that fell off a truck," and threw it in the back of their Tacoma and drove away. Like so, but it's interesting. But $500,000, that the price tag on that is big. That's why it's gotten quite a bit of news.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what unfolds from that, but the thing that's going to be tough though is how are you going to move 18,000 bottles of Noble Oak? So like now that this is a national news story, like what the best bet is going to be to do shady dealings with like bars and restaurants, probably.
Yeah, I would think.
I mean, or
because you're not
somehow get it out of the country.
Or
God, the shipping cost on
which
that
is
going to be stupid, though.
Also, yeah, but it was all free.
But it's free, yeah. Like, they're not trying to make $500,000. They're trying to make like $2 million. Like it doesn't scale.
I mean, out of the country is gonna be tough because you're gonna have to do it. I mean, you're gonna have to do that illegally, which I think would be more difficult than.
But they already have a truck.
Yeah,
it's already loaded. Just drive.
Yeah. Till they get to the Canadian border and right by Pennsylvania, and they're like, "Oh, you guys got a truckload of Noble Oak? Didn't a whole bunch of that just get stolen?" Oh yeah, some other guys probably did it. That's not going to raise any red flags for somebody.
Oh yeah, come on in, buddy.
Come on in, yeah. Oh, give me a case there, eh? I'll let you drive right through. Sorry about all the problems, though. I definitely don't work for a Canadian-owned company.
Sorry about
that.
Yeah, I mean that is the big question. Like, what now? What?
Yeah.
And how are you not gonna get caught?
I think
at some point.
Yeah.
Because you
have
can't
to be really smart to be able to parse that up properly.
We'll be talking next week on the episode about how they got caught.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be able to sell it really on Marketplace because you can't sell alcohol on Marketplace. You won't be able to
sell it anywhere.
Unless you know some shady bars and restaurants. That's probably your best bet.
And you have to piecemeal it.
And
like,
you
not
think
talking
you're
about selling them a pallet of...
Yeah,
no,
you're
you're selling
piecemeal
a bar and
and
nobody... Might buy a case or two at a time.
You think nobody's going to speak up? Like, you're going to piecemeal it to all these bars and restaurants and nobody's going to speak up.
Yeah.
So, hope they're caught. Don't steal whiskey. Buy it. Support distilleries. They're having a hard enough time the way it is right now.
Yeah. It's not like back in the day where you could like sell cigarettes on the street corner.
I think you can still do that.
I'm sure they still do that.
I'm sure if you walk around Chicago, you can find someone selling you some. I'm not going to say any brands. Some cigarettes on the street. So, anywho, so yeah, we'll see. I'm still, maybe just because I'm a skeptical person, but I would not be surprised if this comes out to be fraud. I would be 0% shocked if this comes out as fraud.
Well, I think it's fairly reasonable that an employee somehow got their hands on shipping manifests and was like, I could organize a a heist, and
anyone that does
they could make a quick buck, and
and to be fair, well, I mean,
not that,
I don't know though.
I'm not saying that the company is committing some sort of fraud. I'm saying that like an individual within the company was like, I could.
And more than likely, it's probably not someone from Noble Oak because it's at it could different warehouse. So it could
be distribution. It could be.
Well, I mean, it wasn't in distribution. It was going to distribution. So this is just at a storage warehouse that's a shared warehouse with a bunch of places.
There's like how many different groups are involved in the transactions there, right? Like, I mean, there's a few different entities that.
You know who's the most pissed off about all this is right now? Government. They're not getting their taxes on that.
Yeah.
Distributor, if it was at a warehouse going to distributor pays the taxes on it.
Yeah, you're right.
So, government's not happy.
Too
it's
bad.
A lot. $500,000 worth of liquor taxes they're going to lose out on.
I guarantee you they probably, if it is just a random heist, they didn't even think about what they were going to do and how they were going to sell it.
No.
Probably not. No.
They were just all they were thinking about is how do we get this? And now they're probably like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
The fact that someone took $500,000 of liquor and couldn't even find someone that could put a good fake ID, and they just used someone else's ID that didn't match theirs, makes me think that they didn't have a plan afterwards.
Yeah.
So, and maybe they had the idea of the guy that was supposed to be there because they, like you said, maybe they kidnapped him or whatever. So, who knows? We'll keep an eye out.
I would have heard about that by now, though. But
we'll keep an eye out. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Speaking of seeing what happens, Jake, you guys have been having some more than average master classes lately.
Mm-hmm.
I know you
Killer
guys
transition, by the way.
Yeah,
I am really good at transitions, you guys. I don't think you've realized that. Like, I am decent at two things in life, and that is transitions and knowing when we should start wrapping the episode up.
And spreadsheets. Don't sell yourself
your life skills. I'm
really fucking good at spreadsheets. That's my calling in life. Like, I'm not like good enough to be like part of the spreadsheet Olympics. If you ever watched that, that's stupid. But I know more than most. Anywho, Jake, way to ruin the transition, by the way.
I'm gonna bring it back. Don't worry.
Yeah, bring us back to this, please. What do you guys all got coming up for the summer? Because I know you guys got a lot on the books already.
Well, first I'm gonna backtrack a little bit and kind of loop in this whole episode and why this topic is relevant. So we've had some like killer guests lately. We've had the national ambassador for preservation, and we've had the owner and founder of Old Louisville. We had the master distiller for MGP, Ross and Squibb. That is something that I've always wanted to have in. I mean, everybody who knows bourbon knows MGP. It's one of the most historic distilling sites out there. We had the master distiller Frey Ranch. We had we've had so many master distillers and owners of distilleries in the last 3 or 4 months, probably 5 times the amount that we ever had in a 3 to 4 month period.
Check out a couple of our last episodes if you want to listen to interviews with some of those people.
I mean, that's how we've gotten, Sonnet from Koval, Marlene Holmes from Milam and Green. So
can I just say I love that we get your sloppy seconds from Gold Eagle for our podcast.
I wouldn't say it's sloppy seconds. I would say it's like
I'm fine calling it. Like, I don't have a problem singing that. Like, I'm fine with it.
It's almost like a rebirth. Like, they did so well that it's like, all right, we need to dive into this a little deeper and get you on the podcast to have something like permanently recorded that people can go back to. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's sloppy seconds. But anyway, Ian, who's the master distiller of MGP, said this during the master class, and I did talk to him about getting on the podcast. So hopefully we will have him on the podcast in the upcoming months. But we were talking about how whiskey is slowing down. Of course, somebody asked it in the class and gave the standard response of like, it's not going anywhere. This is just a lull, and it happens in the industry. It's ups and downs and ups and downs. But he is so happy that they're slowing down production a little bit, because now he gets to actually play around with some different blending and do some more experimentation on the aged whiskey side, rather than just being strictly tied down and focused to pumping out volume of distillate. So that was one part of it. And the second part of it is he was like getting out here and talking to customers and, sharing our whiskey, seeing people's responses to our whiskey, teaching people about our whiskey is so much more fun than sitting in a control room, walking through a 120-degree distillery, making sure everything's operating properly. So I think, these moments, that's why we're getting these people out. They like to go out and sell whiskey. They like to go out and talk about their whiskey. So I think this is a really cool time period where we're going to see more emphasis on education and sales than we ever had before, because we finally have the whiskey to actually sell. So these people can go out there and teach and talk about their whiskey.
Except Rob.
Yeah, fucking Rob. Pat Brophy, I know you're listening. Do something, please, Pat. Like, anywho.
Yeah, I mean, especially for a company like MGP that, like, I think you put in your post or your story about your visit there, that like it's literally a factory. Like, it's not like it's not sexy. It's not like a like super nice like presentation or anything. Like they were designed to be a factory to pump out spirits.
It's probably more set up like a biodiesel factory or plant than a distillery. I haven't seen it, so I can't swear. I've been into a biodiesel plant before, but I haven't been to a.
But yeah, I mean, like, getting to take a breather from that environment's probably super nice, and get to play around a little bit, instead of having to pump out full throttle, day after day. So.
Yeah, and to kind of touch on MGP, like what I recommend going there if you ever get the opportunity, 100%, like jump on it, go and see it, because it's totally different than any other distillery you're ever going to see. Do I want to go back there? I mean, I would go, but I don't really have a desire to go back. It's not like pretty. It is literally a factory, and it's kind of one of those things where like you got to see it once and then you don't really feel the desire or need to go back. But it's those guys love going out and talking about their products. It's the same thing at the store when we're super, super busy. Like, I hate being in the office. I want to be out there talking to customers, talking about the barrel picks that we've done, helping you pick out a really good bottle. And I hate days where there's just too many deliveries coming in where I'm stuck in the office doing back work. So that's the fun part of this business, is talking and sharing and connecting with people. And so I think because of this surplus, we're going to start to see a lot of really, really cool elevated whiskey events coming in the next couple of years.
Ooh.
But I guess I should like promote some upcoming master classes while you're giving me the opportunity.
Yeah.
So next week we've got Balvenie and Glenfiddich high roller. We're bringing in their specialty guy who only focuses on the higher age statements, and we're going to be pouring some pretty high age statement, high end stuff from both of those distilleries. If you're a Scotch fan, or if you're Scotch curious, come check that one out, because they are not your typical peated Scotch. And then also next week, we're going to have Rye 3 and Ranazalco. And if you've been to one of those master classes, we've had Karthik on the podcast before. I know you guys have attended. He brings a ton of energy and always has some really, really unique, fun things to taste. For this master class, we're only going to be focusing on LTOs, limited releases. We're not even going to bother with any of the core items.
I don't.
And then
you had the
go ahead.
Belvini and Glenfiddich High Roller like a year or two ago, also, right?
We did, yeah, we did.
Which was an awesome one.
Yeah,
I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some different pours at this one too. We're going to be doing some of the same, but some different. But like I said, I think we're going to do the Caribbean 14-year Balvenie because everyone loves that one. And then other than that, everything's going to be 18 years and up. So if you want to taste some old high-end Scotch, definitely come to that one. And then the following week, Single Cask Nation, one of the largest independent bottlers. We've had Josh on the podcast too. Mm-hmm. So they've got some really good stuff. If you're a cask strength Scotch fan, it doesn't get better than this. We're going to try some different distilleries. And then we've got a cool one. We're titling The Grower and the Distiller. Another one that we've had on the podcast, Joe Henry's been on the podcast. They grow all the corn. They're masters of growing corn. 45th Parallel is a distillery that started in 2007 in Wisconsin, and they do a lot of contract distillation. They distill all of J. Henry's bourbon, and then J. Henry takes it and ages it at their farm. So we're going to have both of them out to kind of talk about the growing of the corn, then 45th Parallel, what they do on the distilling side and how that side of the business works. So totally different than anything else. And then we're going to do a cocktail gin masterclass. So something a little bit different in July. And then we're going to have our competitor in July as well. Pursuit Spirits is coming to do a masterclass, which will be
garbage. Don't go.
Well, maybe we can do a collab podcast and instantly hit thousands of more people.
Or the following week, we'll just do a podcast at Binny's.
I mean, I'm on the podcast. I'm not like a guest here.
We can still do a podcast at Binny's. I'm sure they know us. I know some people.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what he thinks about coming on Bourbon Matters.
I'm sure
and we're also going to do a chicken cock.
One of the guys from the show.
Yeah, one of the guys from the show is going to be there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kenny.
Oh, cool.
So he's the one that does the. No, sorry, not Kenny. Ryan.
Oh.
He's the one that does all the blending.
Okay.
So, we'll get some.
I thought you were going to say he does all the work, and I was going to say let him know we're hiring.
Yeah. And then, we're also going to do a chicken cock masterclass. They've got some new releases that have been doing very well off the shelf, and he's going to bring in some different LTOs. So, great lineup upcoming. Got a few other things in the work that I'm trying to solidify. But as I said, I think now more than ever, we're going to start to see more elevated, cooler experiences in the whiskey space.
Nice. Also, on a completely unrelated note, do you want to let everyone know about the sidewalk sale you're going to have for Noble Oak in the upcoming weeks?
Oh, yeah. $5 a bottle.
I was saying half price Noble Oak on the sidewalk sale. Weird.
Yeah,
got a big shipment in the other.
Just use code Dan and you get the bottle for $5.
Yeah. Totally joking.
You can do that at goldeaglewine.com or come in store and drop his name.
To be fair, if you drop my name in the store, you're paying more for that bottle. Yeah. You're not getting the discount. But Jake, we don't have anything for this episode, but previous episodes, you always have dropped some coupon codes so people want to listen to previous episodes, those coupon codes don't normally expire.
No, they don't.
Where can people use Bourbon Matter coupon codes from?
Yeah, we mentioned some really great episodes on this episode now, so definitely go back, take a listen. The coupon codes don't expire. They're good for whatever we have in stock, but you can use those at goldeaglewine.com. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Gold Eagle Wine. Follow us on Facebook at Gold Eagle Spirits to see what new stuff we have going on. Also, hit up our website to sign up for some of these master classes that we talked about that are upcoming. But yeah, they're good stuff in the pipeline, that's for sure. Some exciting barrel picks, exciting master classes that should be dropping very soon.
Awesome. And Jake, if people want to go back and listen to some former or previous episodes with some of the people that Jake just talked about that we had on, or to listen for some coupon codes, where can people find our previous episodes at? Where can people find out more about us at?
Yeah, at this point, like probably 10% of the store is permanently on sale if you know what the coupon codes are. So go back and listen to us.
10% of whiskey section. We don't care about anything else in that store.
No, we have the $500 coupon code too. So
that's true. That's true.
You can listen to us on Apple, Google, Spotify, pretty much any other podcast platform. Watch us on Spotify and YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Bourbon Matters. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. We've been getting a lot of good traction lately. So thanks to everybody that's been commenting.
Oh, yeah, 2,000 Facebook or Instagram followers.
2,000 Instagram followers, which is super cool. So thanks to everybody that's following us there.
Oh, thanks for Kyle, too, for doing some posts.
And Kyle, yeah.
I wonder how many followers we got after my video of parasailing or paragliding while talking about whiskey.
Hopefully none.
Probably 0.
We got an incredible response for our barrel pick, which was fun to see. Lots of people reached out, so we'll be sending more information on that soon. Once we button up, some of the details in the coming week or two. So keep an eye out for that. Also, you can DM us if you want to be on the wait list for any future picks. I think we have the whole group solidified right now for the Maker's pick. But yeah, let us know if you'd be interested in doing anything in the future.
All right. Well, boys, till next time, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.